one of the most iconic destinations in all of Southern California, Manhattan Beach, known for its lovely waters and perfect beaches, along with an exciting nightlife. And of course, the Manhattan Beach Open, the once-a-year crown jewel in the sport of beach volleyball. It is the AVP Heritage Series, and we are continuing on Stadium Court with our women's coverage. Not a single player over 28 years old in this one, Cameron Irwin.
Yes, it is a young combination on both sides of the net. You've got TKN, Taryn, Kloth, and Kristen Nuss back in action, back from Paris, and they have a fantastic team on the opposite side, and it's Terese Cannon and Kraft, a newly formed team. In terms of what you're going to see defensively from this duo, Kraft, the four-time national champion out of USC, not to mention her partner is also out of USC, ends up becoming a defender. That is a huge switch, and it is playing in their favor right now. I cannot wait to see this matchup. Really only happened once before, but never on the AVP.
It never happened on American soil, so they will duel for the first time here, and it's for a trip to the semifinals on Sunday. Mark Sherman to get us started and get the crowd primed.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go, everybody. It is time to send another team to the semi-finals, and I have looked in the eyes of all four of these players, and they are ready. They are locked and loaded and ready to go, especially this first young lady out of Pittsford, New York, everybody. Oh, my goodness, the arm on her at the net. She is ready to fire the cannon for you. Let me hear it for Terese Cannon. And her partner at you're still just 21 years old, Megan. I know, it's a thing. Just 21 years old out of San Diego, California, ready to smash. Ladies and gentlemen, blocking, playing defense, she does it all. Let me hear it for Megan Kraft. Who am I starting with? Who wants to go first? You guys pick. You guys let me know. You? All right, perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. Sorry, I just want to make her laugh. It's just so funny. Every time I introduce her, she just starts laughing. Out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you know her, whether you're in the States or around the world. She is an Olympian. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Taryn Kloth. And her partner out of Metairie, Louisiana. I don't know what it is, Kristen. Audrey, your mom just keeps texting me. She's like, make sure you say hi to Kristen. She feels so strange not being here this weekend. I mean it. Audrey, yes, this is your daughter. She's ready to go out there for you. Let me hear it for Kristen Nuss.
Representing normal people everywhere, Kristen Nuss giving hope to all the littles. Checking in at 5'6". You will not see an athlete maximize her mechanics more than Kristen Nuss.
She is anything but normal on the beach volleyball court. One of the best cut shots in the world. So creative, great execution. She is a deadly force.
So these two teams met twice earlier this year. It happened to be at the same event, the Elite 16 in Stade. And it was both victories by Kloth and Nuss over Cannon and Kraft, but Cannon and Kraft have been creeping closer. It was 3 sets in the final and 15-11 for the victory. So that was a wonderful finish for both teams in that event leading up to the Olympic Games. Now, Kloth and Nuss on the left-hand side of your screen. Kristen Nuss to serve, Taryn Kloth at the net.
Some of the things I'm going to be looking for on the side of TKN is going to be how Taryn Kloth has a first contact. Can they stay in system? And I have a feeling they're going to look for that matchup, Taryn Kloth versus Terese Cannon. Because they have such a formidable block on the other side, I think they're going to play a little bit more towards Taryn's direction.
Nuss runs that one down and scoop back over, but just long by her partner.
Whereas if you go the opposite direction towards Kristen Nuss, you're going to have to deal with a lot of short shots, moving that ball around. And don't get me wrong, Kraft is an all-out defender, but I don't think she wants to deal with as much of that, having to chase all the shots of Kristen Nuss.
Kloth and Nuss, of course, coming off of that Olympic performance where they got really a difficult matchup in the first round of the crossover, or the first round of the elimination bracket, as Nuss gets that one. This will be Kraft. Left side heater. And popped over for the win.
That's a different way. Scoop and deliver. A kill.
They ran into Mel and Brandy, did Kloth and Nuss, or TKN. That's really a difficult matchup. That matchup should have happened semifinals,
Absolutely.
if not the final. But Mel and Brandy did not have a very quality pool performance, so they fall down. That's just one of the things with a pool into an elimination bracket. Sometimes that happens. That ball blocked by Kloth for the moment, kept alive. Nuss to the corner.
Love the tempo in transition. Whenever you're in the midst of a rally, everything kind of gets sucked into the interior of the court. So as those rallies continue, great locations are some of those deep corners, and I love forcing the tempo, unable to get to the depth of the court, are Kraft and Cannon.
If you wonder if you're seeing the best beach volleyball players on the planet, that matchup I just mentioned that occurred in the Olympic Games in the knockout round. That ball is dug very sky high. It was the same final that we had in Huntington Beach. Oh, detonation. You heard about the arm from Mark Sherman. Kraft delivering.
Just walloping that 50-50 ball. This is what you live for as a volleyball player. Anytime that gets sent up right on top of the net, no blocker up. Megan Kraft making them pay. One of the areas of development for Meg Kraft throughout her collegiate career as a USC Trojan. She's always been great with her shot selection and just her level of execution in that regard. But really adding some pace. So the last few years of her career has been kind of that focal point. Can I add more pepper to an attack? Can I add a little bit more juice to force those shots to be that much more formidable?
Speaking of formidable, there is Taryn Kloth, the one-time Creighton Blue Jay.
Yeah, she's got plenty of power, and at USC they traditionally run a little bit more of this pin-to-pin offense, right? Where you like to get out wide. That's why you see players like Kelly Chang and Terese Camden both kind of shift to that exterior of the court. They want to open up those angles, be able to swing big.
Trying to go over the top, this time wide. A little bit of blocking intimidation. Not unusual to see a ball stuffed and then a ball hit out. 7-2 quickly is the advantage for Kloth and Nuss. Kloth and Nuss had a couple of victories going into the Olympic Games. They won the Elite 16 in Espino, and then they won that Elite 16 in Stade. And I think expectations were incredibly high for that pairing. As we mentioned, they got that tough matchup. Somebody had to lose. Mel and Brandy going much deeper into the tournament, having a nice finish on the Canadian side, picking up the first beach volleyball medal for Canada.
Yeah, and what a brilliant journey it was, getting a chance to watch them and also watch Team TKN, and especially in the preliminary round. They were so deadly. They played some really great teams, and I think for two athletes that are first-time Olympians, they showed really steady mentalities in those matchups. I just love the way that they never seemed to really get rattled through the preliminary round. I also got a chance to catch up with this duo just about 20 minutes ago, and it was fun just to have the conversation. I said, it's so great to have you right here in Manhattan Beach. And it was great. They said, you can guarantee we did not want to miss this one. They didn't have a chance to play in this tournament in 2023. They said, we want our names on that pier.
That is the prize here in Manhattan Beach, immortality. Bronze plaque on the pier. You get one, they get one. That ball saved and put over. Play continues. And did it miss? Indeed, it's long. Save taken.
Effort paying off. How did Meg Kraft get a hand on that? Love the over the top of the head. And check this out. Kraft hustles all the way back up to put a block in front of Taryn Kloth.
Can't give up on your partner. Tough serve to close left. She's had some reception issues. Kraft with the dig. Chance for a score. Wide right. So they've had some shots here in the first set.
They've had some good looks, just a few too many errors on their side of the net. Even that one, I think Kraft getting maybe a bit too underneath the ball. A little tough in terms of the contact point.
8-3. Cannon and Kraft should be pretty fresh. They have kept their opponent below 10 points in 3 of the sets they've played so far here in Manhattan Beach. That went directly to Nuss. She'll be in transition, gather, and put it to the back line. I love the way that she gathers to jump every single time, maximizing what she has.
I love the ability to just walk into a dig. Nobody walks into a dig quite like Kristen Nuss, and it's because she's one of the best reads in the game defensively. She knows exactly where that ball's going to end up before you even make up your mind as an attacker.
You go backside here. Cannon. Middle is dug again. And there's a little heat from the little.
Yeah, working into that seam. Kristen Nuss, one of the best transition players in the game.
When collegiate beach volleyball came around, everyone wondered how much it would matter, what effect it would have. They knew it would have an effect, but I don't know that anyone predicted how much of an effect it would have. That ball blocked by Kloth. Retreating now, and she cannot handle the second one. But if you look through the women's field here in Manhattan Beach, you get past the first 10 or so players, 5 seeds, you end up with a ton of collegiate athletes. Not to say there aren't some in the top as we look at Kloth and Nuss, but you end up with a who's who of college players from all over the country.
Yeah, and to your point, specifically for LSU, they had 6 athletes participating in this event. You had Kaylee York, Kylie DeBerg, obviously Kristen Nuss, Taryn Kloth, but also Tony Rodriguez and Parker Bracken.
Yeah, Tony Rodriguez, who's played exceptionally throughout, put a lot of pressure on Kloth and Nuss earlier. That ball is dug back over. A couple of scramble plays, but it's still double up, 10-5. Kloth and Nuss in control, set 1. Have a little sand timeout. Kloth and Nuss came out of 2021 just with a bang. Remember them in Atlanta. And they have not struggled at all since.
Yeah, and what's wild is that was the first tournament after our last Olympics, and they stunned everyone coming through the qualifier and not just getting into the main draw, but winning the whole thing. You mentioned the number of names from LSU in the Manhattan Beach Open. Well, there are also 11 women of Troy participating.
That might be less of a surprise to people, though. Southern California Beach Volleyball, USC. Yeah. I mean, that, I think folks aren't necessarily aware, if you're a casual fan, how strong the programs are throughout the United States. Talk about a Florida State, LSU, Stetson has been fairly good. Who else? Trying to think of other teams that outside of California.
Oh, outside of California. Yeah.
I think Texas is looming at some point.
Looming. Yeah, Stein Metzger making his way that direction.
AVP's MVP and best defensive player misses that serve. TCU, great call. I want to see Cannon go to the jump serve, maybe. Used to jump serve a ton in college. Here, jump float. And just working that back line corners. Kristen Nuss.
She's like a sharpshooter. She knows exactly where she wants to go and has the ability to actually execute it. One of her favorite shots, the jumbo. Watch out for it.
Ball's going to end up a little bit tight, and it will be one. Taryn Kloth with another victory, and it's 14-6. Boy, this open to the first set has kind of continued the crowd energy of the previous match. Wilting in the afternoon. We need some spectacular plays. Let's get a rally going here.
That might help.
Okay.
Nice swing from Kraft. She's actually had quite the tournament already. In her first 3 matches, 39 kills, only 3 hitting errors. She was hitting 600 coming into this. She also added in 14 aces. She had at least 1 ace in all 7 sets this weekend. So coming into this, Kennan and Kraft had to be feeling good.
Yeah, I mentioned the set scores. They won their last match over Maya Gessner and Jacinda Ramirez. 21-9, 21-10. Saw a little bit of that out behind our broadcast position here in Manhattan Beach, and they were looking so comfortable with their systems. Well, they haven't played for a little while at this point.
And it's interesting, too, because they're working with Mike Playcheck as the coach. And those systems, when I talked to them, or when we actually, you were with me in Huntington Beach when we spoke with them about kind of integrating some of those new systems. Terese Cannon looked at me, she goes, I have like 70 new blocking calls. There was a lot of, we'll say, nuance to their offensive scheme. So you can imagine now that they've had a little bit more time under their belt alongside Mike Playcheck, there's definitely some comfortability now coming into effect. Let's see if it can come to effect, though, right now on Stadium Court.
The AVP League starts September 14th. You can be there all across the United States. Tickets and venues going to be announced next week. As the league gets underway, all kinds of teams from across America. The Dallas Dream, the Palm Beach Passion. Still time to join us here for a Heritage event as well. We have Championship Sunday upcoming, and then we'll have Chicago over Labor Day. You can come on out and see who's going to get a berth into the league via a victory here and in Chicago.
Of course, you want to be a part of the league. Here is your shot to be in it. The Manhattan Beach Open in Chicago, your last two events in terms of the Heritage Series to get into the league. But guess what? You don't have to play in them to watch the league. That's what
I was wondering, who you was. Okay. Thanks, Cameron Irwin. I was thinking about getting in the league for a second.
We are in the league.
Well, that's true.
We are our own duo. It's great. But of course, you can check it all out. And we will be stopping into a city near you, considering all of those great locations. And also, so fun seeing Mark Sherman down on the sand, getting these fans interacted. If you have a chance to come out and watch these fantastic AVP pros, I highly suggest it. You might just find yourself on the sand, too.
Mixture of teams, mixture of athletes, mixture of venues. It's going to be an exciting fall. We're going to enjoy the AVP League. Back set coming. Kloth, they are enjoying this first set. The Olympians up 8.
I mean, Kristen Nuss right now is hitting 714. She's 5 of 7.
No, and she's 5'6". What do you mean? Don't give her an extra little roster height there, Cam.
You know, with the way she plays, I would be happy to call her 6'5".
Oh, she's like 6'2" out there. Exactly. Look at that, laying out for another dig. And transition coming, trying to jumbo to the corner. Kraft couldn't get onto the net. That ball does find the sand.
So many fantastic shots. Now, if you're new to the sport of beach volleyball, you may not realize just how difficult what these defenders are doing and also executing their attacks as well. Like that cut shot is coming from 5 to 6 feet off the net. It requires a great deal of finesse. You don't always have to go up and take an absolute rip at the ball. That shot is 10 times harder than just taking a swing.
There's a block, a little positive momentum, 15-9.
Terese Cannon with a nice block. Let's see if that can be one of the difference makers for this team. Nice move, good discipline, sealing off the seam. Cannon struggling a bit offensively, though. Hitting negative 300.
And Team TKN just looking comfortable time and again in reception, not stressed. Perfect set, perfect execution, hard to deal with. How many times have we seen the ball land within 3 feet of the back line here in set number 1? Jumper coming. Hard driven ball, dug and popped over. Boy, that's frustrating. You hit shots, you take swings, and they just keep coming back.
Yeah, and they're playing Meg Kraft a little bit more straight up in terms of their defensive scheme. They know she likes to hit heavy into the angle from that right side. So we've got Taryn Kloth with a big block closing down the line, letting her partner go to work.
Jump serve again to the middle, and it's trouble.
I'd love to see a little bit more of that, as well as the cut. Even if Kraft can start to move that block and D of Kloth and Nuss. give herself some more opportunities.
17-10, set number 1. Winner goes to the semifinals. Loser has a little bit more work to do, though. This is a winner's bracket matchup. You're not done. You're going to look forward to a little more volleyball. Was there a touch? Yes, there was. That ball converted. 17-11. Side switch upcoming.
I also still am stuck on Kraft playing defense. I mean, this is somebody who played at that #1 spot time and time again for the USC Trojans, one of the best blockers in the game. And all of a sudden, she finds herself in the backcourt. Played alongside Delaney Maple at SC, also another 4-time national champion. Terese Cannon's got 2 in her own right. There's a lot of jewelry on that side of the court.
Well, when they were teenagers, youngest ever to come out of the qualifier into an AVP main draw. Hard to believe, Cam, that we saw that, and now everyone's post-college. Goes by quick.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at the qualifier, and there's still seniors out of Stanford in that qualifier who soon won't be in the qualifier anymore, but just phenomenal team after team.
A service, 17-13, timeout called, so a little bit of pressure and some sportsmanship there. Taryn Kloth giving some 5s to Kraft and Cannon. This is the AVP, a new day dawning. Heritage events, 2nd of 3 on the year, headed towards league play.
Taryn and Kristen feeling pretty solid right now, just in terms of their performance and what they've put together. Again, a chance to put themselves into better position considering their finish in Huntington Beach, where they took a 2nd. So they are sitting at that #2 spot behind Brandy Wilkerson and Melissa Humana Paredes. So they do not have an automatic position based off their finish, but still that 2nd place does help them a lot. You can also see who's up next. Tied for 3rd, you got Betsy Flint, Julia Scholes, the 2023 Manhattan Beach Open champions.
Well, let's go all the way down here to tied for 9th. Abby Van Winkle and Savvy Simo, who we saw earlier on Stadium Court. They're going to be rising in the rankings. So who will get in, who will be left behind, we will see. And then where will they play? Who will they represent? The LA Launch, the Miami Mayhem, the Dallas Dream. You have so much to cheer for, so much to look forward to with the AVP League.
There should have been a team in Louisiana.
It's true.
I know who they'd rep.
Maybe could have borrowed Mike the Tiger for a little bit.
I still have never seen a state sponsor an AVP team until Taryn and Kristen.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
That's valid. That's very cool. Cut shot missed. And all of a sudden, this first set that looked like a dominant going away performance by Kloth and Nuss is very much up in the air. Just 3 points the lead.
Clinton Scholes also, important to note, they took down Savvy Simo and Abby Van Winkle. So that 3 seed is already into the semifinals.
Simo and Van Winkle, if you were with us earlier, took out Cheng and Hughes.
Watch the height of this. This is so impressive. Great set location for Kristen Nuss to be able to go up, see the block, and still, because when she hits a shot, she's got to go up first before she goes back down. So great space is needed on her attack.
It's a different sort of look as a blocker when you're looking at a ball that's coming from below you so often rather than directly in front of you.
Well, and often so many of these athletes have remarked the fact that Kristen Nuss's cut shot also kind of sneaks past you. It goes underneath your arm, which is one of the other reasons it's become so deadly.
Option given, option taken by the 6'4" Taryn Kloth.
I swear, this Manhattan Beach crowd is just adrenaline junkies. They only want to see hard-driven swings, because this one, they liked a lot.
You might wonder, Taryn Kloth playing outside hitter at 6'4", very similar to Alex Kleiman in that regard. Not put in the middle, not the Gabby Reese big girl in the middle situation. If you have the autobiography on your shelf.
Gabby Reese, one of the legends of the game. Really helped propel both the athletic and entertainment combined, as well as the fashion aspect of this sport.
Yeah, the model and Florida State volleyball player back in the day. Spent a long time on the 4-woman tour when the 4s tour was a thing.
So has a podcast, fun to listen. Dane Blanton recently on it.
Yeah, saw all kind of clips from that. Hit at the retreating blocker. 20-16. Kloth and Nuss right back on track with a couple of points, and we're at a set point opportunity. Set point number 1. Go back, sets Cannon. Touch, turn, termination, 21-16.
A triple threat.
Of alliteration.
Yes, I love the contact there from the block of Taryn Kloth. What a great contact. She stays calm, drops right back down, finds that platform, and serves it up for a partner.
21-16 in the first set. Kloth and Nuss are one set away from punching their ticket to Sunday and the semifinals. We talked a lot about the upcoming AVP League. Hope you're looking forward to it. We know the players are. We caught up with them earlier.
With the start of the league this year, I'm super excited. Obviously, not everyone knows exactly what to expect because it's such a new format. This is the Volleyball Super Bowl, so.
I'm very excited for the new league. Really just excited to get it started, get it rolling, and really get the excitement all around the country.
It's something new for the sport. I think fans can get excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, our goal from the beginning was to spread the love of beach volleyball, and moving it around the entire U.S., I think it will get so much more involvement, so many more eyes, and really excited for it.
The league looks and sounds real great. I think we got to win this one to get into the league. And my little daughter here, Sage, gets to watch, so it's just incredible.
Redefining beach volleyball and bringing it to you where you are all across the nation, giving you an opportunity to travel not too far and extend your summer deep into the fall. The AVP League begins September 14th and concludes in November with the championship here in Los Angeles. 8 weeks of regular season play, followed by our championship weekend. And the first ever league champion.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, Evan Corey kind of making the statement like, we don't know what to expect. This has never been done before. But there are some things you know you can expect in the league. It's going to be amazing volleyball. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere and some really cool and unique venues, which of course will be released next week along with the tickets. Go ahead and grab yourself those. Set an alarm on your phone because you're going to want those tickets. They're going to move fast to see these top pros in a new and unique format.
Will we see Kloth and Nuss on a Sunday? They are simply 21 points away or more the way things have been going today. We've had a lot of overtime sets. We've had a lot of 3-setters. It's up to the Olympians to try and close it out, and it starts with a point on the board via service error from Kraft.
If you're looking for an answer for Cannon and Kraft, it's simply shoring up some of their offense, right? At this point, Terese Cannon is at -250. She's had 8 total attempts, 3 hitting errors at that mark. Meg Kraft has seen the majority of the side out, but she's actually doing a pretty decent job right now at 389.
Nuss cutting into that with a couple of digs. Nobody up for her. Hits at the retreating Cannon, and that ball goes the wrong direction. 2-0.
Well, and to your point, right? So she's on 8 of 18 with only 1 error. So she's not necessarily making errors, but right now she is getting dug. She's hitting this heavy angle ball, and Kristen Nuss is just all over it.
That ball tight to the net, set off. Dug, and that option was there. A little bit low.
They're almost delaying that block as well for Taryn Kloth, almost taking away the high line. So that seam that you saw Meg Kraft hit in set 1, that could be a good answer for her here.
Middle, winner, 2-2. A serve. Cheng and Hughes are facing Hildreth and Van Gunst, an elimination match out in our contenders bracket. Teams trying to climb their way back into the semifinals. Short side winner.
It's so hard because even when you know she's got that cut shot, which she can pull out at any given time, you still have to protect the high line. It is just a tough place to be in as a defender against Kristen Nuss.
Yeah, and she tends to put it in the corner as well. So it's not as though she's going to go shallow midfield. It's going to have to be all the way to the limits of the court.
Nuss is 10 of 15.
Ridiculous.
Those are crazy numbers, and that's a crazy contact coming off the net. That was a reverse platform.
That's not the right kind of platform.
Not much you can do there if you're Taryn Kloth.
No, it's a defensive effort. That one trying to go off the block underneath. No touch called. Asking Terese Cannon if she touched it. What do you do? There's no replay here.
No, I think you move on. I like the swing though.
Cameron Irwin's not going to tell you. Old school Cam.
Yeah, I didn't see a touch there. Hand didn't move. Old school Cam. I know, actually, I kind of like it, to be honest. I mean, the challenge system is cool. I think it needs to be.
You like the subterfuge?
But I also, you know.
Kraft with the rundown. Let's get the crowd excited. Here comes Kloth, full head of steam and rolling to the corner efficiently for 4. Golf clap.
But this is the right shot for Taryn Kloth. If she continues to score on these high line opportunities, you might as well just keep rolling it that direction. You can even see that just almost slightly on her left side.
Got Cannon off balance there. She's forced to cover herself. Second swing is dug in the back. Kraft, right side, winner.
There's the push set all the way to the antenna. Great defensive effort on both sides, but I love it. Make Kraft a different attack location, pushed all the way to the pin. And you could see in the middle of this rally, Kristen Nuss thought there was no way May Kraft was going to take a cut at this ball. She starts to run towards the high line, get some space.
Kraft with the run. Chance to convert another one for a 2-point advantage. No, not yet. Cannon high line winner. 6-4.
Points are starting to turn on the side of Cannon and Kraft because of the defensive play of May Kraft.
Absolutely.
She is scooping ball after ball right now. And also throwing up a dime of a set.
Scoop and dime.
Another t-shirt.
Just a pair of hands. We know volleyball t-shirts need help, but I'm not sure this is the help they need. Thanks for being with us here on Bally Live. Coverage, 3 days of it, of the Manhattan Open, affectionately known as the MBO, crown jewel in the summer AVP action. It's a heritage series here. Huntington Beach was in May. We're playing this weekend here. Then we'll be in Chicago for Labor Day weekend. And then we'll be on to AVP League play in the fall. Remember, our finals are coming up on ION TV. Check your local provider. Make sure you're all set for Championship Sunday. That ball pushed back by Cannon. Second time. Fades off. Doesn't quite pirouette for the dig.
It's wild to think about what this team has accomplished in their 3 short years on tour. They already have 6 AVP titles to their name, including the Phoenix Championships in 2022. 22 alone, they took 3 titles. We've added 7 FIVB titles internationally. Have really high expectations heading into Paris, and rightly so.
Well, they had a ton of championship experience. You mentioned the ones that they've won, right? They've also lost 5 times, so they've had a lot of opportunities to be there in those high pressure moments. And I think this Olympic Games, obviously, everyone wants to be in the medals. Everyone wants a gold medal. As Nuss comes in transition and converts, everyone wants that. But I think here, for the pair who are 27 and 26, you take it as a learning experience. You keep building your partnership, keep building your skills, and you will be back, and you will be so much better in that whole environment. Not just the volleyball part, but everything about being at an Olympic Games.
4 years from now, we'll just
Here.
be a bit north of here.
Trying to go a little bit short, went a little bit wide.
How did she turn that quickly? She gets the dig on the left side of her body, flips it around, and somehow finds a somewhat lateral jumping attack.
Kloth pounds that one down. And our close second set action continues now 9-8.
It's the first big swing we've seen on a pass set attack on that side for Taryn Kloth. She's opened up her array of shots now, having the chance because she's been hitting so many high lines.
That one is a deep corner winner from Cannon. Looking much more comfortable here in the second set. Technical timeout in the offing.
Working the option play, that means going on to, and I love it, if you get an easier ball your direction, strain the defense on the other side, limit the amount of time they have to react.
Highline was the call. You may have heard it. Highline was executed.
It's on repeat right now. Feels like 75% of her offense has just been the high line, keep hitting the big red button.
DJ Richey put it on the fart machine. Big block right back. Taryn Kloth, do not apologize for greatness. Putting up a wall. We go to the technical timeout. Kloth and Nuss with the lead 11-10. Winner here moves on to the semifinal. They're into Sunday. They're thinking about 2 more victories and a Manhattan Beach Open title. The loser of this one is going to have to face off one more time today. Got that one right back in the nose, did Meg Kraft. We've seen a couple of those facial rejections here on Stadium.
Talk about making adaptations in your game as it continues on. That was a huge one from Taryn Kloth, going with the 4 blocks, showing line, jumping into the angle. She has yet to really do that to this point.
Here's a look in on Cheng and Hughes facing off with Hildreth and Van Gunst. First set going to Cheng and Hughes, the other Olympic representatives for the United States. Second set action underway. Remember, that is an elimination match out there. The winner of that match will face the loser of our match here. So that is the work to do. You're going to get one of those 2 teams, and it will come quick too. That match scheduled for 4 p.m.
Wow, that's a lot of volleyball in a day.
And that's happened to everybody here because we have such a large field. For instance, Billy Allen and Paul Lottman, who we saw lose earlier on Stadium, they were immediately basically making their way out to the outer courts to continue on into the contenders bracket. Here's how it lays out. You see our match now right here in the top left, feeding into our schedule tomorrow.
Guarantee some of those athletes that are playing back-to-back are going to want to end up right there in that water shortly.
I'm going to put down my headset, Cam. You got the rest of this. I'm going to go get in the water.
Somebody get this guy a surfboard. A little tip dunk.
Tip dunk. Tapped it down.
Yep. Tapped it down.
A little tappy tap. Send it home. Are you too good for your home? Cannon, left side. Roll shot wide. So a couple little errors for Cannon and Kraft appear to be the difference right now.
And this is where you have to elevate your game, right? Like, we are in the midst of this second set with Cannon and Kraft. You are in this. You got to have the push. If you need a spot, this is the one to start making some plays.
We've got a timeout here. 4 straight points for TKN. Timeout by Cannon and Kraft. All right, quick update. This is the final round of the winner's bracket. Winner gets to the semifinals.
Here's a look at the bracket. Flint and Scholes, defending champs. They are through to the semifinals over Simo and Van Winkle.
And don't forget, Betsy Flint had made not just one, but a few trips to the Manhattan Beach final before she won it in 2023. And it's even better than that. I talked to her this week and she said the coolest part of all of that is every trip I've made to the final of Manhattan Beach Open came after having her first kiddo, Cora. She said it was an incredible journey, a huge celebration for her once they won that. They ran off to Shellback and they even had little Cora with them just for a short period of time. She said the best part was they got off the sand and out of Shellback and Cora just wanted to jump in puddles. She said they all gave a little bit of perspective, but really cool for Betsy Flint to win that title.
Another mistake, has the lead now at 4. Yeah, it is important to remember with the kids. Coach Karai tells a great story about the '96 Olympic Games, and he's playing in that final, and his kids were young at the time, win the gold medal. Celebration ensues, an incredible achievement, first time had ever been in the games, and down come his kids, and the first thing one of his boys says to him is, "Dad, the water park was closed."
It's so true. So true, so fun. We can guarantee Betsy wants another.
Oh yeah, everyone out here does. They're going to get not only a Manhattan Beach Open title and a bronze plaque, of course the ceremony next year, but they'll also get an automatic berth into the league. One for the men, one for the women, coming from this event. Cannon trying to clean up a couple errors on this side. Instead they get another one. 15-11. Time is about to run very short for Meg and Terese. Kloth, jumper. Looks like an overpass, tracked down. A lot of running for Kloth. It didn't bother her arm. She laces that one for a 5-point lead.
Being as tall as Taryn Kloth is means you get a little extra step, right? So fun to see her track that ball down. Great defensive to offensive play.
She'll serve again, that middle jumper. Been hitting Cannon or the middle. More confusion. Kloth stays in the net. Look at Nuss run it down. Here she comes in transition. Option taken, and it's another conversion. 17-11.
I think it's wild when you consider these two, especially in those transition moments. Oftentimes Taryn Kloth goes up and she now has to expect on any given ball that her partner is going to be scooping. Just lights out defense from Kristen Nuss on every single play.
It's looking as though the domination will continue. They have beaten Cannon and Kraft, have Kloth and Nuss 3 times, including twice in the same tournament earlier this year. The previous victory was in Paris last season. Nuss with the rundown, and now we're just getting silly and having some fun.
That's what I'm talking about. Taryn Kloth just gets to turn around and find another.
That was the reverse cut shot right there, because it had top spin and everything. Three away. Nearly had one there.
There's a good cover play. Meg Kraft getting back underneath the attack, scooping an extra one out.
Kloth crossbody and out of bounds. 18-13.
And Terese and Meg haven't really been able to get Kloth and Nuss out of system. They have been siding out at a high clip. Would love to see a little bit more service pressure. Just one ace on the side of Cannon and Kraft. That's better.
Well, a little reset though, and all of a sudden here comes Nuss at you, and she's chopping you up. 19-13. The onslaught continues, and by onslaught I mean of good plays.
To play a team like Taryn and Kristen, it's not just about making one good play. You have to make sequential good plays, one right after another.
Sequential. That would be 9 across for everyone doing the puzzle. Two points away, could be one here with a smooth side out. Kloth and Nuss looking for a semifinal berth.
Talk about just how good Kristen Nuss is. Here's another number for you, Kevin. Nuss has now had 8+ digs in 6 consecutive sets.
Well, you mentioned her hitting percentage earlier. She's not only digging balls, she's converting them. That one is put away, and we are now at a match point opportunity for Kloth and Nuss.
This is a crazy number. Kristen Nuss currently has 23 digs in this match.
In this match?
In this match.
Who's keeping those stats?
Doug Strauss.
All right, I'll go with it then.
23 digs.
Match ball. Kloth doesn't get that one. Second match point opportunity upcoming.
She's had 15 in this second set alone.
Seems like a lot of digs.
That seems like a lot of digs.
Chang and Hughes are leading on that outer court matchup we mentioned. It could be that Cannon and Kraft face them after this play. And in fact, there it is. So Cannon and Kraft will head to the contenders bracket. Their journey not yet concluded. Kloth and Nuss, their Saturday is over. They're looking forward to Sunday, and they have already secured now their best Manhattan Beach finish.
Taryn and Kristen just one step closer, and if they continue to play like that, they could very, very likely end up on the Manhattan Beach Pier. That was quite the competition.
Smooth and controlled, 21-16, 21-16. Kloth and Nuss getting back on track after the Olympic Games. So Cameron, we thought this was going to be an interesting matchup. No one over the age of 28, youth being served in this quarterfinal.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed with the way that Kristen and Taryn came out very businesslike, and they improved defensively throughout that. The fact that Kristen Nuss walks away with 23 total digs in this matchup just alleviates some of the pressure you might feel from an offensive standpoint. When you are scooping ball after ball, you're putting your team in a great position to find transition points and ultimately find yourself with a W next to your name.
Yeah, very much the traditional big little, 6'4", 5'6", and headed to Sunday and the semifinals. Little fist pounds all around. The slunks-clad women will be back in action tomorrow morning. Our action is not concluded here on Stadium for the Manhattan Beach Open on a Saturday, Contenders Saturday. We're going to go back to the men's side of the game. Our defending champs are going to be in action here shortly as you look at the road to the women's title. Flint and Scholes through, defending champions. Kloth and Nuss, the #1 seed, they are through as well. We'll get our next teams out of the contenders bracket, but those matches yet to conclude. Men's up here on Stadium. Stay with us on Valley Live.